Hello everyone, this is Noodle, and today I am back with another pro tip, and this one is fantastic. And once again, the credit goes out to the Hurt Locker 290. Brother, I'm gonna have to give you like a show on this channel. Earlier this week, he gave me a pro tip about how to use the stationary anti-air vehicle in Battlefield 4, and he comes to us with another one. This one is great. It's something I didn't realize. It is something somebody else had pointed out to me in a private message earlier on, but didn't explain it this well. He says, "Hey Noodle, I don't know if you know this, but it just came to mind watching this, but never got to post this. If you spawn in an IFV, tank, etc., and fire one round of your 25mm shell and reload it, it will start to auto-replenish." And what this does is, say I'm in a Little Bird, and I jump in, you have 30 shells in your immediate fire, and then in the Little Bird you have 60 more that you can fire. And if I fire one shell out of the Little Bird and hit the reload button, it will reload to 30 shells, but it will continue to reload as if I had fired a whole magazine. And therefore, instead of having 60 shells on reserve, I now have 88. A total of 118 shells I now have available to fire. And in all reality, you actually have more than that, because while you're if you fired those shells one after another, after another, after another, until you were dry, you would have another reload already done during the time you fire. So in all reality, you have close to 150 shells available with this method. And with the Little Bird, you have 118. With the attack chopper, this works just as well. Instead of having 14 on reserve, you now have 27 on reserve. That is huge with the attack chopper, because those things take forever to reload, and the attack chopper needs some extra damage because it's kind of been nerfed in Battlefield 4. This also works with the LAV. Instead of having 23 on reserve, you now have 35 on reserve for all your chain guns. And your chain guns are your 25mm cannons and your T-shells. And I'll put that on the screen what the T-shells stand for. I call them T-shells. And this also works for all Zuni rockets. Instead of having 8 on reserve, you now have 15 on reserve. And that is huge. That is one whole more reload of Zuni rockets. That's 40 more damage you can do to a vehicle just because you did this. But it does not work on tanks. I tried it on tank. You still get the same amount in your queue because the tank doesn't fire more than one shell at once. Works just as well on the Amtrak for you guys who, almost no one uses the Amtrak, but if you're in an Amtrak, do this. It works. And how do you use this? I've been using this. I do it every time I spawn. If I'm in an LAV, Little Bird, attack chopper, or Amtrak, every time you spawn, fire one shell off, hit the reload button, and this will automatically happen. I do this anytime during the game where I haven't fired my weapons long enough. Say if I'm just kind of dealing with some infantry and I'm not using the Zuni rockets, I will fire one Zuni rocket off so I have more Zuni rockets. Or if I'm backing off because I just got in a big engagement, I'm down on health, and I want to head back to base a little bit and get a little repair, just before I jump out to repair, I'll do this. So when I get back in, I have those 15 Zuni rockets, or I have those 35 LAV shells on reserve, and this gives you a huge advantage. There's one whole more magazine of shells that you can do damage with, and pretty much with the LAV, you can continuously fire for a good minute or two. If you have the T-shells or the 25mm shells and the Zuni rockets installed. This is huge. It's a big pro tip. Hats off to Hurt Locker for submitting this one. If you guys have any other pro tips that I have not covered and that you do, let me know. Let's help the Battlefield 4 community out. Let's help those guys out who are just starting the game and are kind of struggling, not knowing how to play. Let's help the pros out. The guys who are doing amazingly well already. Let's help those guys out. If we get better as a community, how can that hurt? Because not everyone is going to see this video. And if you can help your buddies out, you can help other players out, that just makes the community better as a whole. Until next time, guys, my name is Noodle, and always remember, use your noodle.